California is facing a serious $68 billion deficit for 2024.
You are listening to Home Sellers Advantage. I'm Aaron Zapata, your co-host.
And I'm Todd Anderson, your other co-host. We are the Bald Brothers team at Impact Properties, and we are here to give you the Home Sellers Advantage.
You can find us online at www.baldbrothers.tv. Again, that's baldbrothers.tv. Or you can call us at 833-305-BALD.
That's 833-305-2253. Give us a call today.
Welcome back, Todd.
Welcome back, Aaron.
Yeah, I like to say welcome back, Todd, because I'm with you. But welcome back, listening audience. We're so glad that you're here with us again. Thank you for tuning into the Bald Brothers team. We are excited about what we're doing and the information that we're bringing to you. And boy, do we have a bomb drop today. I mean, this is where is California going, people?
Yeah, well, we're going in the hole, I guess, for $68 billion.
I know, that's crazy. But before we say that, because this is kind of a crazy show,
yeah,
I do want to say Merry Christmas to everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
We are days away from Christmas.
We
and
are.
By the time this podcast airs and is on the radio, we will still be before Christmas. If you're listening to it after Christmas, I hope you had a wonderful Christmas.
That's right, and that you got everything that you wanted. But we're about ready to unwrap a gift that California government is giving to us all Californians, and that is a $68 billion budget deficit. That's huge. I can't even wrap my head around that.
You know, that is huge because, and we're actually going to link to an article, a Cal Matters article. And in this article, it cites the fact that it was not that long ago that Gavin Newsom, our governor, was boasting a $97.5 billion surplus. And that was, I think he bragged about that back in May of 2022. But then it wasn't long after that for the 2023-2024 budget that he addressed that there would be a $22.5 billion deficit. And now we're looking at that number multiplying up to $68 billion going into this next year.
That's right. And this report is, again, in the link on our website as well as in the show notes. And if you'd like to get us to email you these links so you can do the research yourself, we definitely encourage that. You can reach out to us at our website at baldbrothers.tv, or you can give us a call and just let the call center know that you're interested in the links that talk about the $68 billion deficit, and we'll get those to you directly. I would like to say shout out real quick to Larry Carton. He is one of our listeners and a longtime friend of both of ours.
Good old Larry Carton. I've known him for many years, and so have you.
We're going to dub him our research analyst, because he loves to send us information about real estate, information about California. And he was, I don't know, would you say one of the smart ones?
He's one of the smart ones.
Which did what?
Which left.
He left California.
Now, what is that saying about us?
Oh, man. Oh, man. But you know what? We're here to bring hope to those that remain, because we are remaining here in California.
Yep.
So shout out to Larry. Thank you so much for sending us the links on these.
Larry, our research analyst with that full head of hair.
That's right. He cannot be part of the Bald Brothers because he just doesn't have the hair.
That's right.
I'd also like to say thanks to some of the other listeners that have called us and talked to us about their properties for sale. That's what Todd and I do. We sell homes.
Yep.
And if you are facing a budget deficit of your own personally, and you are looking at leaving California, we would definitely like to talk to you, because that really is one of the problems that Newsom faces, a decreasing population.
Yeah.
And we're in housing, so we get a front row seat to that.
And you know, the name of the show is Home Sellers Advantage, and we deal with the real estate market, but this has a direct tie to real estate. Obviously, there are several people that are leaving. And so let's talk a little bit about this article and some of the things that it talked about as the reasons for this deficit. Obviously, one of the biggest reasons is income tax, a loss of income tax revenue.
Right.
And obviously, if people are making less money, and you have a loss of people making the money, in other words, people leaving the state, there's obviously going to be a drop in income tax revenue. So that's one of the issues that is actually cited in this article, among other things.
Well, and they can track IRS tax filings, right? So they can see where people are going. And California has lost out huge on the tax filing status. Florida has won.
Yep.
Texas has won.
And
Tennessee has won.
By the way, I should insert that we have covered this in previous episodes. So you might want to go back to one of those previous episodes where we talk about the loss of tax revenue and the influx into other states that Aaron's mentioning.
That's right. And so this article comes out, and it's published by a neutral, nonpartisan legislative analyst office in California. Mm-hmm. And they basically look at the expenditures, they look at the income, and they're the ones that put this report out. They say that California faces a projected $68 billion budget deficit in their 2024-2025 budget, and that it will require significant spending cuts and or dipping into rainy day funds in order to bridge the loss.
Yeah.
And so they come up with a couple of suggestions. But there's also a debate as to really how much we're going to be down.
Yeah, and I should interject. That is the exact opposite of what happened. I started out talking about how in 2022 Newsom was boasting a surplus in the budget, and he did it to encourage Democrats in the legislature to sharply increase spending. And so now we're on the other side trying to decrease. And of course, as you mentioned, the numbers can easily be fudged in certain ways. But there's a lot of different ways of looking at this, isn't there?
There is. And before we do that, we just want to remind you, you're listening to the Bald Brothers team here on the radio or at our podcast. And we are realtors who want to inform the public. And you can reach us at baldbrothers.tv. You can also reach out to us at our toll-free number. That's 833-305-BALD. Or if you like the digits, it's 833-305-2253. Again, that's 833-305-2253. That goes to our call center. We're not going to answer it directly, but we don't want your call to be missed. So they'll take your information, they'll ask you what you're calling about, and then we will call you back. Either Todd or myself will call you back, and we've had lots of opportunities to do that.
Someone bald will call you back.
That's right. So again, thanks for listening. So back to this article. The first thing I want to note is that when this article was published here in December, Newsom's office, of course, had to respond.
Yeah.
So they sent their spokesperson to reply to this report, and here's what they said. And I'm going to summarize. They basically said, we know those are your numbers, but our numbers are going to be different. Mm-hmm. Newsom is supposed to address his budget coming up in January of 2024. And he said that the numbers will substantially be different, but yet he will still address the deficit. So they're saying it's not going to be so bad. Mm-hmm. When it all comes down to it at the end of the day, it's not going to be so bad. So let's talk about a couple of ways that this article identifies as a way to bridge the gap. And let's go with everybody's favorite first.
Well, what I just talked about with the income?
Yep. Raising taxes?
Yep, raising taxes.
On those that remain.
On those that remain, and of course your highest income earners are always the target for that. The common mantra that you hear is they got to pay their fair share.
Their fair share, those filthy millionaires.
So the fair share is those who make more money should pay more. So listen, we're not going to go into a political commentary in this show.
We just did.
But we just did.
I mean, realistically, people that have money can afford to leave.
Yes.
And they do. They're leaving in mass droves, and that leaves those that can afford to leave here.
So it becomes kind of a catch-22. Would that be the right terminology for that? So you want to have the higher income earners that obviously, if you're doing a flat tax, you're still the higher income earners are going to be providing more of the revenue regardless. Mm-hmm. That's always going to be the case.
Yep.
But if you're going to start punishing those high income earners, guess what? As Aaron just said, they have the ability to leave.
That's right.
They have the ability to move. So what are they going to do? They're going to leave California, which gives us we're in a sinking hole, and the problem continues to get worse. And so it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
It really is. It's just you tax. It's like the post office raising the price of stamps. Mm-hmm. The more and more they do that, the more and more people are going to go to automatic bill pay electronically. Yep. Like, why would I pay 60-some cents to send a check when I can just do it for free?
That's right.
online. And so they're like, well, we need to raise the stamps because we have less people sending stamps. And it's a cycle that's going to only produce terrible results.
Why would I send you an invitation to my party in the mail when I can do a digital invitation?
You can text it to me.
That's right.
Okay, so California's not the only one that's facing this issue. It was recently announced that the founder and creator of Amazon, what's his name?
Jeff Bezos.
Jeff Bezos announced he's moving. He's leaving Seattle, moving to Florida.
Yep.
And then recently, right after that, I guess the headquarters is like technically the taxing portion of the headquarters. I'm not a tax guy. We're not giving you tax advice, so don't quote me on this. But I read an article that said that that's more than just Jeff that's leaving.
Yeah.
And so they're losing income too.
And Florida seems to be one of those states that's the beneficiaries of all of these people leaving.
That's right.
Yeah.
Low regulation and low taxes.
Yeah.
So number two reason, way to bridge the gap, number two here, they say that realistically the government needs to cut on educational funding.
Oh, of course.
They have to cut. This is nonpartisan, so they're going to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay. Immediately response to that, Assembly Speaker Robert Rivas, a Hollister Democrat, released a statement last week saying that it is clear that tax revenues will be substantially below estimates. Committing to a budget that protects classroom funding is basically required. So he's already like, nope, we're not going to come against the educational funding.
Yeah.
But that is a significant portion of the California budget. And so this nonpartisan group is saying, look, we have Proposition 98. It allows you to reallocate and change some of the distributions based on a low revenue year. He's saying, we're in that year.
Yeah.
You need to do that.
Yep.
But obviously the government is going to be like, no.
Yep.
That's not an option.
That's right.
So,
hey, if you're just tuning in right now, if you're on the radio, if you're listening to our podcast, this is the Home Sellers Advantage. We are the Bald Brothers team, and you can reach us. You can go to find us online at baldbrothers.tv. That's baldbrothers.tv. Just in case you didn't catch that. And then you can also reach us. You can call us at 833-305-BALD, 833-305-BALD. And that is also 833-305, 2253.
That's right.
If you want to call us directly, and as Aaron mentioned earlier, we do have a call center that picks up every single one of those calls, and we will get back in touch with you. So we are talking about this looming $68 billion deficit for the state of California. And we've talked about a couple of different things. We've talked about cutting the budget in certain areas. Aaron was just talking about in our education. We've talked about the income tax revenue. Another issue would be, capital gains would also factor into this.
Yeah.
And of course, this being Home Sellers Advantage, when you sell a home, there's a potential for capital gains as well, depending on the nature of the sale. So that also plays into this too, doesn't it?
So they've identified a number of reasons why it is, why the way it is, like why did everybody's costs go up? And they admit in the article that inflation is taking a hit. It's just costing more to run the government. It's also housing market. So very few transactions. In fact, one of the fewest transactions ever in my history of over 20 years in the business.
This year has been extremely low.
Extremely low.
So any investment properties that aren't being rolled over into a new investment property on a 1031 exchange, you're not going to have that capital gain revenue.
Right. And you typically have homeowners who are selling a home to buy another home, and if they have exceeded their current married household $500,000 exemption in gain, then they have to pay taxes on the other.
They've owned the home for 25 years.
Yeah.
There's probably going to be some capital gains coming in on that.
But now they're staying put because they refinanced into this amazing low rate during COVID.
They're not moving.
They say date the rate, marry the home.
Yeah.
But now people are married to the rate. And they're dating the home.
Yep.
They're like, I don't really like my neighbors, but boy, I love my rate.
Yep.
Man, I'm just going to stick right here. I'm going to deal with it because I can't afford to leave. So they're missing out on capital gains. They're missing out on all of the additional revenue that is generated through a real estate transaction from escrow fees and title officers. And so, think about all the W-2 income earners that benefit from the sale.
Yeah.
Realtors are 1099. Yes, our sales are down overall, but everybody else who's attached to that is their income's way down too. And so tax filings, just because of that, is going to be down.
Yeah.
They're also identifying, like you said, Todd, the excessive, increase of spending during COVID when everything looked like it was amazing. and everybody had this money just rolling in. There's a lot of individuals that did that too. They went out and they just bought a ton of stuff, and now they're in distress.
And there's a word that goes along with that too. Starts with in and finishes with inflation.
Oh, very good. Very good. Very good. And so, I just mentioned distress, Todd.
Yeah.
Some people are listening to this right now, and perhaps you are listening to us, and you're thinking, why are these guys talking about the budget and all that stuff? I thought this is a Home Seller's Advantage. We want you to go back and listen to all of our shows. Mm-hmm. We want you to subscribe to our podcast. We want you to go to our website. We want you to look at those things because we address all of the issues when it comes to real estate.
Yeah, these all tie together.
Yeah, and so, this budget deficit is going to put a pinch on you, the homeowner.
Yeah.
You're going to feel it because the way our government works is that if they can't vote in a tax increase, they will find and use every loophole they can to raise fees on other things that affect you, but they're non-tax fees. Mm-hmm. If you get a cell phone, they might add a fee to a cell phone transfer. Mm-hmm. It's not a tax. It's just a fee, that we need to do something. When you're at the gas pump and you are paying your gas, our gas prices will never be as low as they are in Tennessee or Texas or Florida because we have nearly 75 cents per gallon built into it, into taxes and or other charges that you're going to pay even if you buy 1 gallon of gas.
The bottom line is you got to make up the difference somewhere.
That's
kind of like when you raise the minimum wage for an employee. Well, guess what? Those business owners are going to have to make up for it by either laying people off or raising their prices. Mm-hmm. And so what's this phrase? You can't have your cake and eat it too. And so that's kind of what we're looking at. Right. And, something we didn't even mention also, which we have on previous episodes, previous shows, about the mass exodus of businesses from California. Yep. So you have tax revenue that comes from businesses. And then, of course, if you are a large company that employs a lot of employees and you move, there's a chance that then you've also got your employees that are also moving out of state, which also impacts the income tax. So there's just a lot of things that are attached to this. And then, of course, you're raising taxes in other areas to make up the difference.
And if you're a business owner and you are going through this whole idea of whether or not you stay in California or you get out, we would love to talk to you. Mm-hmm. We've talked with a lot of business owners. It does take a lot of advanced planning. Yeah. You want to take key employees with you. You want to do it right. And we want to share our experiences with you because we've seen a lot of companies try to do it, and then it ends up totally backfiring. Mm-hmm. So it's important. Give us a call. Tell us you're a business owner. You want to talk about a transition plan because we want to help you roll that out to your employees and your customers if that's truly something that you want to do. Mm-hmm. Also, lately we've been doing a lot of probate.
Yes.
A lot of estates that are being sold. And if you're looking for advice on wills and trusts, we've got a great network of people that we recommend. And so we want to be a resource for you because you own homes and your home value in the end is an equity play. Yeah. It's part of your wealth and deficits like the $68 billion deficit, rampant crime, these organized retail theft organizations now that are just ravaging cities and Nordstroms and Targets. Mm-hmm. All of that plays into the value of your home. Yeah. And so if you're thinking about leaving California, we get it.
Yeah.
I would say 70% of our clients are, hey, we're leaving. Mm-hmm. We're out.
Yeah.
We're going somewhere different. Yeah. And we have a network of agents across the country that we work with.
Yeah.
So if you're just tuning in, you're listening to the Home Sellers Advantage Show here with Aaron and Todd. We are the Bald Brothers team, and we want to encourage you to head over to our website at www.baldbrothers.tv or give us a call toll-free at any time, 24 hours a day at 833-305-BALD. That's 833-305-2253. Thank you. Thank you.
And so, the bottom line is when you are a homeowner, you do have options.
Yes.
And so that's always good to know. And as Aaron mentioned, if you find yourself in distress or situations, give us a call. We can actually discuss some of those options for you. Hey, there's something else we wanted to talk about today as well. And there's an article that we will link to in our show notes. And that is an article that has to do with one of the safest communities, safest cities in Southern California to move to, or one of the best cities. What I can't remember the name of the article.
Best place to live.
Okay, best place to live.
Yes. So if you're staying in
It's
California,
like kind of like we serve the best hamburger.
That's right. The number one coffee.
The number one coffee.
You did it. Congratulations.
The world's oldest rodeo. I've seen that many times too.
That's right. I've seen it multiple places, right? Yeah. So if you are staying in California and you want to look for a great place to live, you're in luck if you're in Southern California and listening to this on the radio, because it is right in our backyard. And so this comes out of a website called patch.com. It says South Orange County city named best place to live in the U.S. per the Money Report. So this is citing a different report from I believe, Money Magazine. And here we go. Number 13 on the list goes to, without further ado, what's the city?
Well, I was going to say the number one. I don't have the article in front of me.
It's
what's
number 13.
It's number 13. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is it Irvine?
It is Irvine.
Irvine, yay!
Irvine. So congratulations, Irvine. You have made the list. And here's an interesting tidbit about Irvine. There are no words after the street name.
Yeah.
So if you live on Chapman Avenue, but it's in Irvine, you just live on Chapman. So, you can be one of the cool kids and say you live on Chapman. When I was growing up, I lived on Bel Air Drive.
Uh-huh.
We felt really rich, but we were in this little farm town. We were not
you
rich.
You live in Bel Air.
No. But in Irvine, it would just be Bel Air. And, choosing where you raise your family, where you grow up, the things that you want to be exposed to, it is important. We work with home buyers as well, even though this is Home Sellers Advantage, and we work with a lot of buyers. We just recently closed escrow with a young family, and first-time homeowners, 2 kids, pregnant, wanted to be close to their work, close to their church, and in a good neighborhood. And while the hope of that ever happening was kind of fading for them because they felt like they had been priced out of the market, for them, it was a perfect time. They didn't buy in Irvine, but they bought close. Yeah. And but every family is looking for a great, safe place to live.
And Irvine is great. But hey, if you don't live in Irvine, don't feel bad.
Don't feel bad.
Aaron lives in the slums of Yorba Linda.
I do?
The slum. No, Yorba Linda is a wonderful, wonderful city. We love Yorba Linda. I actually live I'm in Chino Hills, Eastvale area in the Inland Empire. That's a great area as well. But no, there's a lot of great places here. Irvine is wonderful. Followed by the number 22 on that list is San Diego, just a little further to the south.
Right.
You skip 9 places and you get to San Diego.
Right. So 2 California cities made the list. That's it. Only 2.
2 out of 50.
2
Yeah.
Out of 50. So congratulations to Irvine. Congratulations to San Diego. We're going to wrap up here, but we want to give you a little tidbit of what's coming next week. Next week, we have a show where we're going to talk about 2024 predictions. We're also going to talk about the fact that California hates landlords. And so
Hates them.
So if you're a landlord and you are scratching your head thinking, why in the world do I own rental property in California? You're going to want to tune in next week. So bring your friends, bring your families, bring everybody. Listen around the radio if you still do that. And or just listen to the podcast.
I don't think that's happening.
Yeah. Hold on to get it to come in. We want you to tune in and to listen because we want to bring you the valuable information. And so as we wrap up today's episode, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, but we'll say that again next week.
Yep.
It's been a fabulous year.
It has been. It has been a difficult year for many, but you always have to look back. And with gratitude and thanksgiving in your heart, be thankful for all of the good that has happened.
That's right.
And then, of course, look forward and expect more to happen in the coming year.
That's right. So we wish you God's most richest blessings on this holiday season. And if you are looking for a great church that you want to attend perhaps this Christmas, give us a call. We have a list of churches as well that we can recommend.
We have recommendations.
We do. So God bless you. Merry Christmas. Thanks for listening to the All Things Real Estate Show. The Bald Brothers team is a licensed DBA of Impact Properties, Inc., licensed by the California Department of Real Estate number 0192261. Again, we do not give any real estate, legal, or financial advice. If you'd like to reach us, you can call us at 833-305-BALD, or you can reach us online at baldbrothers.tv. Equal housing opportunity.